She gon' be my girlfriend. That girl right there, wife.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be freshman advice specifically for future Spartans. Yes, if you plan on attending NSU in the upcoming fall or anytime in the future, this video is specifically advice for you and you only. I'm going to talk about campus life, how to survive being on this campus as a freshman, and things that I wish I knew coming in before I got there. So the first thing I want to talk about is keeping track of your key and your Spartan card. So obviously your key is to get into your room, and your Spartan card is how you eat and it's how you get into your building. And it's also how you sign into other buildings. Like, your Spartan card is literally your life. Like, it's the key to your life on campus. When you get to go to student orientation, they will more than likely be handing out lanyards. I know when I got my ID and my key, well, when I got my ID, really, they gave us lanyards to go with our IDs so you don't lose it. That's like the best way to keep track. In my opinion, that's the best way to keep track of your key and your ID, is to put it on a lanyard. And you don't necessarily have to put your lanyard over your neck. You can put it like on your bag, put it in your bag, but keeping those things together and attached to something is better than just having it where it can fall and like end up anywhere. Your key is like a little key, like any other standard key. You will have to eventually give it back, so you cannot keep your key. And you don't want to lose your key, because that is a fine, okay? NSU will fine you. They fine you over a lot, but they will definitely fine you for that key. I think the first time you lose your key, you get excused, like you don't get a fine, but after that, it's a fine. And I think it's like $75. I don't know the price for sure, so don't quote me. But it's you don't want to lose your key, because you just want to pay that. You don't want to pay extra money. You don't want to pay more money than you already have to, so just don't lose your key. And your Spartan card, you don't want to lose your Spartan card, because that's how you get into the caf to eat. That's how you use your dining dollars when you want to eat tropical smoothie and Chick-fil-A, and eat at Legion. That's how you get around. And if you plan on signing in to any other dorm for like visitation, you're gonna have to give them some form of ID. It doesn't necessarily have to be your student ID, but your student ID is more than likely what you're gonna give them, because it's just the first thing that you can just whip out real quick. And when you go to certain events as a student or even as a freshman, you're gonna have to sign in to prove that you went. So you're gonna need your ID to scan and get in. So you really, really, really wanna hold on to your Spartan card and not lose your key. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is saving your dining dollars and the difference between dining dollars and Spartan bucks, because no one told me. It's on the pamphlet, but it's not like explained. So I'm going to explain the difference between dining dollars and Spartan bucks. First off, let's talk about saving your dining dollars. So your dining dollars comes with your meal plan. Depending on what meal plan you pay for will determine how many dining dollars you're going to get for that semester. And the thing about dining dollars is you don't want to spend all of them, because once they're gone and you're not getting any more until the next semester. But if you don't spend all of your dining dollars by the end of the semester, it doesn't roll over into the next one, then you just lose like however much you just didn't spend. So you want to kind of save up, but towards the end, now you can kind of be a little bit more spoiled and eat out with your dining dollars a lot more. And your dining dollars is basically a way for you to pay for your food on campus without actually using like money out of your own pocket. It's money that you basically already paid for. So you can use it at the Chick-fil-A, you can use it at the tropical smoothie, and most hours where meal plan isn't being used at the other on-campus diners, you have to use your dining dollars. So that's how you pay to eat. Now, the difference between dining dollars and Spartan bucks is that dining dollars is something that your Spartan card comes with. You pay for that when you pay for your meal plan. Now, Spartan bucks, you have to put Spartan bucks on your card on your own. So for example, say you buy a Visa for your friend and it's a $50 Visa. You just can't just pick up the Visa and give it to your friend and say, here's $50. No, you have to actually put $50 on the card and then give it to your friend. So it's the same way with Spartan Bucks. You don't start off with any Spartan Bucks. If you want Spartan Bucks, you have to upload them onto the card. And the way Spartan Bucks works, you can use your Spartan Bucks more than just on campus. I don't remember all the places you can use them, but I know you can use them at the 7-Eleven that is right across the street from the school. You can use them at Buffalo Wild Wings and a lot more places that they have listed, probably on the website, but definitely on that pamphlet that they give you about, like, I think your Spartan card and about like your $9 and stuff. They show you a list of places you can use your Spartan Bucks at, so that's really, really convenient. I didn't use Spartan Bucks at school. I survived without it, but if you guys want to and you think you will use them, then by all means get you some Spartan Bucks. But just know the difference between $9 and Spartan Bucks. You cannot use your $9 at Buffalo Wild Wings. No, you will have to pay if you don't have Spartan Bucks. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is getting involved on campus. So my freshman year, I was involved in 2 organizations. Yeah, I was involved in SGA. So I was the SGA class parliamentarian. And I just basically worked with the cabinet, so the freshman class, president and VP, to plan events for the freshman class, to bring the class together and have events. We planned parties for the entire school, work with SGA to promote different things. Sometimes we would join with other classes, like the freshman class and the junior class presents such and such. And that's basically what my job was. You just work together. It's a small group and you guys just really, brainstorm. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. You get a lot of perks being an SGA. You get to know a lot of things being an SGA. Not saying you should run and tell them, or not saying you should join just to be nosy. Actually join if you want to like get some work done and you want to like make a difference on your campus. Then I would say SGA is probably a really good place for you to do that. But that was really fun. And I'm also involved in the Norfolk State University Concert Choir, NSUCC. That's actually the reason why I came to Norfolk State, was because of the choir. The choir is amazing. We go on tour. We sing at almost like everything on campus. We're always performing on the weekends. Choir keeps you very, very busy. And I love being busy and I love singing. But as far as getting involved on campus, I highly recommend in your first year, in your first semester, find your spot, find something to go to during the week. I also went to Bible study. If you're into like spirituality and going to Bible study and studying the Bible and just grouping with people who share similar views, then you should definitely try going to that. I also went to that, but I don't really count that as like an organization. But I definitely highly recommend to get involved on campus your first semester. And if you don't do your first semester, that's fine, but try to get involved on something on campus. We have a lot that you can join. Get involved on campus. That's like the best way to meet people. That's like the best way to keep yourself busy. Campus can get kind of, low sometimes. So that's the best way to kind of like keep yourself going out and not stuck in the dorm all day, not bored. So I definitely say get involved on campus. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. Next, I'm going to talk about staying safe on campus for parties on and off campus. So there are parties on campus and there will be parties off campus. Like there's parties every weekend. Don't feel bad if you miss out on a party. Like you're going to have another chance to go. But staying safe is essential because there will be some opportunities for you to kind of go from your normal self to your party self. But you want to do that safely and you want to make sure you're doing that with people that you can trust. So for on-campus parties, Norfolk State University is a dry campus. They do not allow any drugs or alcohol. If you are caught intoxicated by any means, they will discipline you. Not necessarily, you won't necessarily be kicked off campus or kicked out of school, depending on the circumstance, but they will discipline you, and you definitely don't want that hanging over you, especially at your first year. Or I have witnessed a lot of people who got caught up just not being totally responsible. So the best way to stay safe is just to know your limit and know who you're around. Like make sure you're around people that you can trust, that you feel comfortable with. Do not walk on campus alone. I've done it. I'm gonna admit to you, like, I've walked on campus by myself before, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you can call someone to walk with you, do that. The university does have it where you can call like the police to walk you if you feel unsafe. I've heard different opinions and stories about how that may go. That is what the university puts out as an option. So to be safe on campus, just make sure you're with people you can trust and that you are always going to be taken care of, and make sure you take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for yourself. Campus off parties, more than likely you will probably be catching a lift to these parties because they may be close to campus, but not like walking distance, especially if you're getting cute and you're wearing heels. You're not about to walk like 8 miles down the street to go to no party. So make sure when you lift, like, do not live by yourself. Again, make sure you're around people you can trust. And if you can, with off-campus parties, make sure you're sharing your location with your friends. Make sure you guys are sticking together at these parties. Make sure you guys are aware of what's going on, because I've heard stories from like people going to parties and they get shot up, and it's just craziness. So make sure you're check in, make sure everybody's okay. If somebody has to go to the bathroom, you go with them. Nobody goes anywhere by themselves, okay? That's like the golden rule. Do not go anywhere, especially somewhere where you're unfamiliar with the area, unfamiliar with the house, wherever the party's being held at. Make sure you are going everywhere with your group of people that you went to the party with. Next thing I'll talk about is the Tide. So the Tide is like a train. If you live anywhere that has like public transportation and you have a train, so the Tide is basically like a train. So the Tide takes you, I've never rode the Tide like down to like the end of its courses, but I have gotten on the Tide, and the Tide takes you like all the way down to like the mall. So we have a mall, it's MacArthur, and the mall is really nice. It's a really nice mall. It has a movie theater, it has a pretty decent food court. Sometimes when my friends wanted to just get off campus and we wanted to go do something fun, we would just go to the mall. You can get a cute outfit real quick before a party. You can just run to the mall real quick. It's about maybe like a 10-minute, 15-minute ride from campus. You do have to pay to ride the Tide. I know, it's ridiculous because our school is literally a whole stop on the Tide, but we have to pay. As students, you still have to pay to get on the Tide. Even though you still have to pay, no one's really enforcing you to pay. So do what you will with that information. Next thing I'm talking about is grocery shopping and the shuttle. There's a shuttle on campus. The shuttle on campus during the week, and when I say during the week, I'm talking like Monday, at least like Monday through Friday or like Monday through Thursday. The shuttle runs all day, and it can take you to different parts of the campus. If you live like on a further part and you may have a class on the other side of campus, you can catch the shuttle. The only thing about the shuttle is it's not really regulated. Like, there's no time slots, so you can't really like schedule when the shuttle's gonna come. You just have to play it by ear and hope that it shows up in time. You might have to wake up early if you plan on catching the shuttle. Me, I literally walked everywhere. I never caught the shuttle to class, but it is an option if you do want to, you don't want to walk, like it's a rainy day, you don't want to walk, you can catch the shuttle. But there's no like way of tracking it at all, and I know a lot of students are trying to get that fixed. We're trying to get a way for us to track the shuttle, but as of right now, like, the shuttle is just like a thing, like it's kind of like a luck thing. But on the weekends, grocery shopping, you probably would do most of your grocery shopping at Walmart. That's like the most convenient place to do your grocery shopping at. I know where I live, like, you normally don't grocery shop from Walmart. I had never heard of people grocery shopping at Walmart till I got to school. But the grocery store, it's like a super Walmart. So there's like a food. You still have like your standard like clothes and like essentials and electronics, but there's also a whole other side that's just dedicated to like groceries. And the shuttle that we have takes us to like this plaza. And it's not just a Walmart, like it's a bank, there's clothing stores and all that stuff, but it meets at the Walmart. So you're able to get off go grocery shopping, and then instead of like paying money to catch like Ubers and Lyft back to school with your groceries, you can literally just get back onto the shuttle and it will take you back to school. And all this is free. So, and again, but there's no way to like tell what time the shuttle's gonna come. So sometimes you can be waiting at the Walmart for like an hour for the shuttle to come. So, you know, I guess you can kind of time it in the store, like try to get out by a certain time. But again, there's no real way of tracking like how or what time it's gonna be there. So yeah, that's how the shuttle and grocery shopping works. This is really, really convenient. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is scheduling classes and working with your advisors. So I honestly think that Norfolk State is still working out this advisor thing. You have something that's called the Student Success Center, and that is where your advisors are. Everything you want to schedule, from getting advising for scheduling your classes or tutoring, you go through the Student Success Center. You have to schedule an appointment to meet with them. You can't do walk-ins whatsoever. I've never heard of anybody walking in unless they were doing like a walk-in day, and even then you have to like write your name down and get a time. As an underclassman, you can't schedule your own classes until your junior year. So you will need to develop a relationship with your advisor. Sometimes your advisor may not even know who you are coming in, and the first time you meet with them will either be through your seminar class or it'll be when you are trying to add or drop a class. But on top of advising, you do have department chairs. So if you ever have a question with like scheduling your classes, making sure you're taking the right classes, you more than likely want to run it by your department chair, and have them run it by your advisors. Because most they just recently changed the way they did advising to by major instead of by, I think they were doing it by last name originally, but now they're doing it by major. So it's easier for them to schedule classes for their students because they have one group of students that kind of take the same classes over. So they kind of know what you need to take in order to pass. So that's what they just did to fix like the issues people were having with advisors. But you definitely want to have a really good relationship with your advisor because it'll just make it easier when you need help as far as like getting in classes. And the last thing is grading periods and dropping classes. So you may have to drop a class, and that's okay. Like, dropping classes, it's normal. People do it. It happens. It doesn't mean that you need to drop out or that you're a failure. People drop classes. It's to save your GPA. But you don't want to drop classes too often, but I'm going to talk about that. So first, let's talk about grading periods. So you have a 5th, 10th, and final grading period. So after 5 weeks of being in school, you will get 5th week grades. So it's basically like getting a progress report. If you guys ever got progress reports in high school, it's the same concept. Teachers will upload grades and you'll be able to see your progress. My advice for 5th week grades, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. You can literally bring your grade up so quickly. Like 5th week grades, don't dismiss them completely, but don't stress over it either. Now 10 week grades is a bit different. It's still the same concept. Teachers will upload your progress as far as how you've been doing 10 weeks in. But you probably want to take that grading period more seriously as far as if you should move forward with the class or if you should drop the class. You really want to be on top of your grades. You really want to be on top of your assignments. You really want to make sure that you're not slacking anywhere, and if you are and you feel like a negative impact towards your grade, you'll probably want to end up dropping that course. And so what will happen is there will be a deadline for you to drop a class, and that means you just need to meet with your advisor. They will give you a sheet that you will have to sign. I think the department chair has to sign it, and then you will be able to drop the course. And when you drop the course, nothing happens. You just don't take that class anymore, and the grade will not count against you. The thing about dropping courses is you don't want to drop too many classes because it will eventually start to affect your financial aid. As far as I know, you can only take a class over 3 times before financial aid stops paying for it. So you want to make sure you're not dropping classes every semester just to save your GPA. Like, make sure if you're dropping a class, it's just because you really cannot, like, you just cannot, okay? So that's all I have for this video. I hope this helps for my future Spartans planning on coming to NSU. If you have any more questions about anything, feel free to comment below or DM me on either Twitter or Instagram. I have them linked in the description box. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.